Universe.
Hey, what's up?
My name is Taylor Walslager.
I'm Austin Wyman.
All right, we go to Northern Arizona University. We're going to do our first sports podcast
Yes, sir.
video.
Let's do
We got some pretty interesting opinions.
We do?
So we're going to jump right into it. So we're going to start out with the breaking news. Some of you might have heard. Magic Johnson is stepping down as the Lakers president of basketball operations. So that came as a big shock to everyone.
Yeah.
Austin, give it away.
It's really interesting. Great player. I think Magic Johnson is. It's hard to argue that he's not the number one point guard of all time. But
Yeah,
I think if you look at what he's done the past few years, besides the LeBron deal, it hasn't been much.
Yeah.
And I think you have a really talented young cast there who can, I'm not saying he's going to be Kevin Durant, but Brandon Ingram is built to be a sort of Kevin Durant type player.
Mm-hmm.
And Kuzma, he's going to be he's a star. Lonzo Ball is already one of the best defenders in the NBA. And I think once you start out all of his family drama and all of the, you got to die down the hype around him, I think he can be a really good point guard for them. They have a good core.
Yeah.
And yet, as soon as this trade for Anthony Davis, who, don't get me wrong, great player.
Exactly, yeah.
But for Kuzma, Ingram, Lonzo, and what was it, Josh Hart?
Was that Josh Hart or Rondo?
That's just too much to pay. And I think
and
really,
draft picks.
And draft picks
Yeah.
too. That's
Yeah.
when you could pick him up in free agency. He's already expressed
That was all reported. We don't know.
reported.
If it's true,
It could be. It could be.
Yeah. I
superstition.
noticed I changed the lighting to red because it's breaking news.
Mm.
So my takeaway on it, I completely agree with you. They had a solid core building around. It's just that when a LeBron comes to town, they expect shifts right away. The expectations rise, and they didn't really have the best season. They started out, all right. There's definitely games they should have won, and there's definitely games that they won they should have lost. So I'm just really. I was really staggered when I saw it. I thought it was fake. But then, he came out at a press conference. He told him he's battling with, he has companies in LA that he's trying to focus on more. And I just think that it was a little premature. It's not like him to step away from a challenge. And I was a little disappointed. But, he has other things in life. And going towards a team, and he was building a pretty decent team. It's just when LeBron comes, he needs stars, and he needs good role players that will be able to just they can hit spot up threes, they can hit catch and shoots, and they can make plays. And there's just with the whole the injuries of this season really ruined it. There's so many, not just LeBron. I mean, LeBron missed 18 games in total because of the injury. But Lonzo Ball was injured. Rondo was injured. There was a point in time where they didn't have a true point guard running point.
Ingram's blood clot issue.
Yeah, Ingram had a blood clot issue. Kuzma had some foot injuries. JaVale McGee was out a little bit. And they don't seem like stars, but they still surround the team and they make the team what it is. And the Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and LeBron only played 23 games together.
Yeah.
To get that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, as far as the team, after this, obviously, it's going to be very difficult. I'm really interested in seeing what they do this summer.
Mm-hmm.
They
big
got
overhaul.
Yeah, big. I don't know if they get rid of some players from their core and start fresh. You gotta be able to compete. Right away with LeBron there. But first and foremost, they gotta settle their front office. And then, after that, coaching, if they still want Luke Walton there, or if they're going to go after, Ty Lue or Mark Jackson, they got other candidates, they got options, but they really got to sell it first before they can, at least, they need to solve it probably a month before July 1st, or a couple weeks before, just to, settle this turmoil that the Lakers are in.
My question for you is with, so let's say they bring in a new president.
Yeah.
Because obviously you have to replace Magic Johnson. Luke Walton looks like his job's pretty much gone at this point.
Yeah.
And you think they're probably going to fire most of the staff, probably keep on a few of the trainers. But
Yeah.
they have a chance, because I think this is one of the better NBA drafts in a while that has a lot of talent that goes late.
Yeah.
I mean, the current report now is that they pick around 11 based on whatever lottery odds. They could be taking Bol Bol at
Bol
11.
Bol will be available. Okay.
And I think that helps them because you have, if they keep McGee, you have Bol starting at center if his health is not called into question.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely needs to pack on some weight to his frame, I think, to stay safe. But this is a guy who is like your perfect stretch big.
Yeah.
He knocks down threes. He's huge. He's a mismatch. Even if he's not that strong, his height's a mismatch for everybody. And then you have a player like JaVale McGee coming off the bench who, I mean, you saw like later in the season, he's
dominant still.
The team.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
I think that's going to be really helpful for them. I mean, even if, let's say, I don't know, they do something crazy and move up in the draft a little bit, maybe draft a shooting guard because you think if Lonzo is your point guard of the future, you have BI probably playing small forward, Kuz at the 4. It's
hard. They got a lot of forwards,
Yeah.
Ideally, if BI could play shooting guard, that would be pretty fantastic. And have maybe Kuzma at the 4 with LeBron at the 3. That would be a good.
And then bring in Bol.
There's other good guys out there. I just really question his injuries. And his frame and his body type doesn't really match up to being a center that can be dominant, can take a beating from these guys.
Definitely not like a DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, DeAndre. Yeah, and we also have to remember, we got several guys on 1-year deals that are looking maybe to stay with LeBron, but may also be moving on. Rondo's on a 1-year deal. And
I could see Rondo signing.
Lance and JaVale are all on 1-year deals because they were preparing because they had all these rumors like Kawhi's coming and so they had to prepare and open up cap space. So we don't know who they're going to re-sign. They don't know. As far as I'm concerned, Rondo should stay there.
Yeah.
Rondo and Bron, they're sort of the same type of mindset. They're not really scorers.
Really good basketball IQ.
Yeah, basketball IQ really high. So I just think having both of them there would be a struggle. On top of having Lonzo Ball there, so we never know what they're gonna do, especially with a GM makes decisions on the team, but they have to get approval from the president saying, okay, that looks good, or hey, maybe look at this. So they got to settle that first.
Well, my question for you is actually also on top of that, though, is that you were mentioning the Kawhi rumors and everything. With the KD and Kyrie rumors right now with the Knicks, which are obviously running rampant because of insider talk or whatever, I'm still a little low on that. I can't really see both of them going there. I get it's a big market, but if you look at KD's past decisions, great player, questionable how he is amongst fans.
Yeah, he's not mentally.
He's
I want to say this in the lies. I don't think he's mentally stable. Like he's questionable in some decisions, and he gets in his head too much, and we all do it sometimes. We all feed into the social media monsters and everything. We got demons out there, but at this point in your career, you just got to be comfortable with who you are and make your decisions. And there's just both him and Kyrie are really, sometimes crazy, and they say crazy things. So we never know with those two.
And the problem is, honestly, the problem I see with them going to New York is that KD and Kyrie have had their media issues the past few years, and New York media is notoriously ruthless to its athletes.
Oh, yeah.
They rip even the best of them apart.
Oh, yeah.
You have OBJ with the Giants. They tarnished him for a while because of a few bad games.
Yeah.
And then you look at what they've done to Eli, who's saved their franchise for the last decade.
Yeah.
And then now you're going to bring someone like KD who, despite what he's done as a player, which is so much for both Golden State and Oklahoma City, this is a guy who constantly is on social media battling with the media to defend his image.
Yeah.
But this is an image that he has taken upon himself. And he has to understand that the New York media is going to rip that apart if he messes up.
For real. I completely agree with you. Kyrie may be able to handle. There's some points where, he doesn't really treat the media members right, or, he doesn't answer, he's really short with reporters and everything. As far as KD's concerned, I don't know if both of them be able to handle that type of pressure once you're in New York, especially with all the buzz and there's so many people, there's actors and there's so many high market people that go to those games even if their team is trash. So
right.
We saw it this year. Spike Lee's there all the time, and we see people all the time go see those games at Madison Square Garden. So it'll be interesting to see how free agency works out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. We're gonna finish that video off. So again, breaking news: Spencer Johnson stepping down. Looking for president of basketball operations to look over Rob Pelinka and LeBron and the Lakers. So see how that goes out.
Thanks, Will.